Hey, I'm Phil Stiles. I'm the President and General Counsel of Skyview HD. I also am a drone law expert, and I speak on drone law across the country. I think one of the things that's happened that's so exciting is this new Part 107. People are trying to get their hands around it. They want to know how it's going to impact the precision farming side and the actionable intelligence, and how it's going to affect the farmer, and then how it's going to affect the dealers that integrate with the farmers. The one thing about Part 107, it opens it up to you don't have to have a pilot's license. So you go in, you take a test, it's a 60-question test. If you fail it, you can take it 10 days later. You do pay a fee each time. But the Part 107 is going to open this up so much. There are a couple of things that are going to be limiting, and that will be that you can't go beyond visual line of sight. That's a little difficult in agriculture, although they've given some flexibility on the ability to be in a moving vehicle if you're in very rural areas, and often farming is rural. But you have to be careful with that. Nighttime flight is prohibited, which is also kind of difficult when you're trying to capture some of the precision ag data, and it applies to other areas. But the visual line of sight is probably the greatest battle that will be fought when it comes to agriculture. I think the other exciting part is that everything's developing toward a precision agriculture mentality, and that's data-driven, because if you don't have data, it doesn't really matter. So we can collect a lot of things in the air. Skyview HD does it, and lots of other companies do it. And we're a service company. We don't sell drones, and we don't do those things. But the fact is that if all we did was just collect things and give you a pretty picture, that's not actionable. We have to look toward agri-analytics, and that's what Skyview HD does, and that's what everyone should be doing. So you've got to interface with the John Deere equipment. You've got to interface with Case. You've got to be able to take it all down to the application level, because if you don't, you're not really empowering the grower, and you're not helping these precision ag groups who are very interested in supporting the farmer. And I'm using John Deere as an example. They're extremely interested in helping the grower use this analysis and use this data to truly create a precision agriculture model. So I'll tell you what, the sky's the limit on it. We're obviously very excited about it, and everyone in agriculture should be. It's not going to happen, it's happening right now, and that's the best thing about it. If the grower's flying himself and he's delivering the data back and it's going to be downloaded into machinery, that's one thing. They may not have as much liability. If you have a company like ours, we carry a very large liability policy for multiple reasons. That's the nature of what we do and how we do it. I think when it comes to the precision ag side, I think the big thing for the dealer or whomever is delivering the precision ag is you have to show the grower how it helps them on the ROI, how it helps them make money at the end of a season. If you have a single harvest crop like corn, or you have a multi-harvest crop like strawberries, you've really got to be able to deliver that analysis, because without the ROI, you're not going to get a buy-in. And I think that's probably the hardest part that's going on right now. It's more about the education. And when I say that, I don't mean education like they're not smart. It's just a new field. So to increase the adoption of the usage of the UAV and drone data, you've really got to work to educate people on the value, and the value being how it will make them more money. Two things: increase yield, reduce costs. And if you combo those together, you've got the magic bullet. And I think that's going to be it. So if you can educate people, show people how to do it, it's worth training people on it. And I encourage every farmer to engage with precision farming and agriculture. If they don't, it's going to affect them down the road. It's going to affect their pocketbook, and they need to be looking at that ROI, and precision dealers and precision agriculture is the way to go. It's the only way to go right now. I think the thing you've got to address, for us it's a little different because we're not agronomists. But if you're actually delivering scripts to the grower, to the farmer, and those scripts are faulty, and you may prescribe what might kill a crop and take it down, that's really your greatest liability. how the yield comes out, if they're making promises for X increase in yield and they don't deliver it, they're going to have an issue there. And it's not always about driving costs down. It may be that you use your nitrogen and your pesticides more efficiently. So instead of shotgunning, you're sharpshooting. And when you do that, you may have a level playing field on your costs, but you're going to have a higher yield. So I think it's more about the messaging of what precision agriculture will do as much as it is anything else. Because if you can deliver on what you promise, your liability is significantly diminished. It's when you exaggerate or don't deliver that data or give them a bad prescription, if you're doing agronomy work, that could create a significant issue, because you could take out hundreds or thousands of acres of crops. And these are the livelihood of the farmer. So that's really it. I think that's a major liability I see. There are probably some downstream liabilities, but that's probably the primary one I see.